Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is BAHRIATULILLA ISWARI. My student number 213. Today I will present my research paper about social conflict of life reflected in Parasite 2019, a sociological approach. In the chapter 1, Introduction, background of the study. Social conflict is a phenomenon that often occurs in human life. The social conflict is reflected in a movie, namely the movie is Parasite 2019. This movie discusses the social conflict that occurs in South Korea, where the conspicuous social conflicts are social conflict between the upper and lower classes. The upper class is occupied by people who come from the upper classes or the rich, while the lower class is occupied by people with low incomes and even those who do not have income and work. Therefore, the author decided to discuss and raise this topic for research, and also not many people have researched the topic. And the second research question. The first research question is what social conflict is reflected in the Parasite 2019 movie by Bong Joon-ho? And the second research question is what social conflict is experienced by the major character as reflected in Parasite 2019 movie by Bong Joon-ho? And the third objective of the study. The first, to describe the social conflicts that occur in Parasite 2019 movie, and the second, to describe the social conflict is experienced by the major character as reflected in Parasite 2019 movie. And the fourth, benefit of the study. The first, the theoretical benefit. It is hoped that the result of this study can be a reference for further research related to the literary work of the movie Parasite 2019. And the second, practical benefits. Practical benefits, it is hoped that it can add insight and knowledge for researchers in the practice of literary work in understanding the movie Parasite 2019 and the perspective of social conflict that occur in society. And the next chapter 2 is literary review. The first one, theory sociology of literature. According to Damono, 1978, the relationship between sociology and literature can be studied by examining the literary work by connecting it with the social aspect that exists in life. This basically does not differ in explanation from a sociological or sociocultural approach to literature. As that Welle and Warren 1995, sociology can be interpreted as an approach to literature that relates in terms of society. And the second, nation of the sociology. As explained by Damono 2002, sociology is an objective and scientific study related to human and society. And the sociology of literature is cited Welle and Warren 1956, which says that the sociology of literature is an approach to literary works that can consider social aspects, both aspects of social change, aspects of social institution. And the next, chapter 3, the first, type of the study is qualitative, and the second object of the study is Parasite 2019 movie directed by Bong Joon-ho, and the next type of the data and data source, the first primary data source. Primary data source in this study is the Parasite 2019 movie directed by Bong Joon-ho. This movie comes from South Korea, which was released on June 20, 2019. And the next method of collecting data. The first analyze the movie Parasite 2019. The second, identifying the problem and data. The third, reading some related research paper, article, journals to find out the related theory. And second technique of analyzing data is sociological theory. And the next, data trustworthiness. In order to check the credibility of the data, theoretical triangulation, this research use credibility and reliability. And the second is chapter 5, findings. In findings, I found the first one, what social conflict is reflected in Parasite 2019 movie by Bong Joon-ho. The first one is social conflict between the upper and lower classes. Social conflict between the upper and lower classes are conflicts that arise because of differences. Conflict of interest between classes in society. In this theory of social conflict, according to Ralph Dahendorf, 1959, the theory of social conflict between social classes is the owner of power where the power over control and sanction is owned by the owner of that power and make it possible to give order to others and can benefit from those who do not have power. And the second is social conflict between individuals. Social conflict between individuals occur between individuals caused by personal problems. In this theory of social conflict between individuals, according to Lewis Acouser, 1957, views conflict theory as a social system that has functional properties, and conflict is not always negative. Conflict can sometimes also strengthen the relationship between individuals in a group. Lewis Acouser believed that the existence of conflict does not to be dysfunctional. The existence of conflict can trigger interaction and can trigger positive or negative consequences. In the case that occur in the Parasite movie, it is included in a realistic conflict, which is a conflict based on individual and group disappointment over various forms of problem in individual relationship and social relationship. And the second finding is what social conflict is experienced by the major character as reflected in Parasite 2019 movie by Bong Joon-ho. The first one is social conflict between upper and lower classes. The first social conflict experienced by the main character is the social conflict between classes in the movie, showing the contrast of life between the upper and lower classes. The main actor in the movie Parasite 2019 are Kim Ki-taek's family. Kim Ki-taek's family come from the lower classes. The conflict, the social conflict occur when the son of Kim Ki-taek employer, Park Da-sung, realized that Kim Ki-taek and the other have smell the same, due to their body odor caused by their place of residence that is rarely exposed to sunlight. It becomes damp and causes a distinctive odor. The second conflict made Kim Kitek's family even more intimidated, because Park Dong-ik also realized that Kim Ki-taek had a body odor that bothered him. The difference between the upper and lower classes is so stark. The upper classes, who can take refuge in their luxurious house, while the while the lower class who tries to stay fine even though they are faced with many problems. The social conflict between classes causes endless strife and resentment. Murder can occur because of social conflict between these classes. The upper classes, the upper class usually is underestimate those from the lower class. The upper class always use money, while the lower class is forced to agree to what the upper class wants. And the second is social conflict between individuals. The second is social conflict between individuals. This conflict between individuals occurs because of individual differences experienced by former domestic helper Park Dong-ik and current domestic helper Kim Ki-taek and his wife, where they depend on each other for life, but in the wrong way. This social conflict between individuals causes dispute between individuals and create a sense of revenge, so that killing arises between one individual and another. And the last one is the last one, chapter 5, is conclusion. Social conflict is an aspect that will definitely be experienced by every individual if it is associated with community life. There are two social conflicts that researchers found in this study. The first is the social conflict between the upper and lower classes, and the second is the social conflict between individuals. The social conflict the upper and lower classes, which in the movie occur in the main character, namely the family of Kim Ki-taek, while the conflict between individuals, which in the movie occur in the child of Kim Ki-taek, namely Jessica. And that's all of my present, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.